baby. You gotta go over the branch. She's still transitioning. They're down here. Hey, I'm on an encounter. What's up? Let me check it.
This is a great place to work.
It is. I have an 8-year-old daughter. You might see her running around, has a little blonde hair. So that's part of the reason that I am John's indentured servant. No, it's a great place, and it's really cool to be able to see all the animals, right? Where you guys come from?
Lexington.
Oh, cool. Did you guys get any snow up there?
And ice.
Really?
About 5 inches of snow, and then it iced over that, then it snowed a little more on top of that.
I used to drive into Paris, Kentucky. I think that's up there, right? Kind of in the middle. There was some plants up there. But you guys have the Ark up there, right? Didn't someone make?
A little further north.
Yeah. Is that cool? Have you guys been
We
there?
have not
We
been
actually
yet.
have not been, we talked about
Yeah.
it, but we
Yeah.
haven't gone yet.
I've been. It's cool.
We're supposed to have a big Christmas display, but we didn't make it up there.
Yeah.
Does the sloth ever interact with the turtle?
Well, not really. We were debating who would win in a race, right? Between turtles and sloths. And I said that turtles, especially the ones in the ocean, they're so fast, right?
Oh yeah, what to the ocean are?
So, but they kind of look at each other over in.
Turtle and a tortoise.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But over in Flash's area, there's actually an armadillo. So armadillos and anteaters and sloths are all part of the family of Zathorans. So that ability for them to kind of fold in on themselves, the Zathoran means like the foldable one, because they have the extra vertebrae. And so when you see the armadillo that curls itself, and then how they sleep is in a ball, and then the same with the anteaters. So Flash has a roommate. Are you looking at the stuffy there, Zoe?
So I've also seen them put the turtles on skateboards so they can really fly.
Well, part of the reason too is this is 80 pounds.
Yeah.
And so when you go down there, you're kind of like in an awkward position to pick them up, right? And it's like, man, it's a lot of effort.
All right, sweetheart. Glad I was standing it.
Yep.
Lowe's being declined. Because
Maybe.
after buying the generator yesterday, he was over his
Yeah.
monthly limit.
She's got her head under the iron.
All right, sweetheart. She is still transitioning to this room down here, so she's still learning how to move around the trees. So sloths have horrible vision, but they have excellent spatial awareness. So after she's been here for a little while, she'll zip all around this place, eyes shut. But
Zip,
right
zip,
now,
Zip.
yeah, zip. So they say that sloths can only move 10 or 12 feet per minute. That's not true. The guy next door is Flash, and when I open his door in the morning, I say, "Hey, Flash." He's 25 feet up there, and it takes him, I don't know, 30 seconds to come down, so that's got to be 40, 50 feet per minute.
Really?
And so they can move quicker than what they say, but I mean, if he was trying to move any distance, I'm sure it'd be a lot slower, but they can move quicker than I ever thought. So you guys are going to be holding and petting her today. So when you hold her, if you just give her something to sit on right here, she won't hold on as hard to your neck. And if you let go of her, she's not going to fall. She just is going to hold on tighter up here, which you guys both have a sweatshirt on, so you'll be fine. Sometimes people have a bare neck, and that can be a little pinchy. And she likes to be petted, but she likes to be petted about this speed. And she doesn't like to be scratched, and she doesn't like to be like that, and they don't like to be touched on the belly side. But if you want to have a seat, hold her, hand her to you.
Start with him.
All right, go ahead.
This is his encounter. This
Is
is
it?
his, on his bucket list.
Yeah? Is that an amethyst?
It is.
Yeah. It's a pretty one.
Hey, baby. Thank you.
There you go, and don't grab her, just let her come to you.
Okay.
There you go. All right.
Can I put her in scholarship?
Yeah, absolutely, yep. So, after 15 minutes or so, we'll let you have a turn if you
Oh
want.
my goodness, she's so sweet.
So, Zoe is a sloth, obviously.
Pictures are
So,
good.
yeah, pictures, videos, everything you want. And he is live on,
TikTok and
TikTok.
YouTube and about to be Facebook.
it's likely to ring at 2:30.
Okay.
Okay. For somebody else to come through the gate. You know what, you could just latch it. Let me just latch the gate open so you don't have to worry about that.
Her tongue's out.
You picked a great color of sweatshirt. You can actually see her. Sometimes if people wear like really dark colors,
Yeah.
you can't. They're like, what are they holding?
She was making fun of me this
I
morning.
said, Welsh sloths don't like yellow.
So how long does she sleep typically?
Maybe 18 hours a day.
I thought it was a long time.
So they say 20, but she's way more than that. But
So-
if you were counting kind of dozy, maybe 20. So lifelong so far, she has hung around my wife's neck for probably 8 or 10 hours every day. So my
Nice.
wife, the downside of being my wife is she's stuck in the office all day, every day, answering phones and texts and calls and emails and whatever. And, but the upside is she always has a baby sloth hanging around her neck, so that kind of makes up for it.
How old is she?
Zoe is 13 months old. Her birthday was December 16th. So the sloths, there's two-toed sloths and three-toed sloths are the two main divisions of living sloths. Particularly, this is a Linnaeus two-toed sloth. Some differences between two-toed and three-toed sloths. A three-toed sloth has 9 vertebrae in their cervical spine from their skull to their shoulders. A two-toed sloth has only 5. A three-toed sloth has 3 vertebrae of a tail. A two-toed has no tail. But they have the same number of vertebrae from end to end, so that means a two-toed has tremendously more between their shoulders and their hips. So a three-toed sloth will turn its head 270 around like an owl. A two-toed sloth will turn its body till its shoulders and hips are basically 180 out from each other. So a three-toed is more like an owl, a two-toed is more like a slinky, as far as how they move.
So as soon as she sees that, you feel her grab.
She opens her eyes too, wants her to open her eyes for
Yeah.
pleasure.
So sloths are slow, they're famously slow, but sloths are slow in ways that most people don't realize that sloths are slow. So they're slow not only in their movement, they're slow in their digestion, their metabolism, their metabolic processes. They're slow in every way that an animal can be slow. So slow in their digestion. The first studies on how slowly a sloth digests its food, they put some 3mm glass beads into some sloth's food and just waited to see how long it took them to come out the other end. And that was 61 to 64 days. So no one seriously believes that anymore. It just seems that glass beads don't move like food does.
I was gonna say, as much as we've seen them eat, there's a place up in Cynthiana that has a couple.
Yeah,
And we went up there and fed, and they ate a lot.
they eat a lot, yeah. They eat 10% of their body weight every single day.
Yeah.
So the next study on how slowly they digest, they put some durable dyes onto some different types of food and waited to see how long that took to come through by color. And that was 18 to 30 days. So still tremendously slow, but not 60 to 64 days.
Where they put it all.
So if you are watching us on TikTok and you've actually seen this sloth and you watch day after day, you'll see that after she goes to the bathroom, she'll be cylinder shaped and then she'll like whoa, 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 whoa over time. And they eat tremendously much food, but they only go to the bathroom once in 7 to 10 days, 3 or 4 times a month. That's it. They don't even tinkle in between times to use the bathroom. So if they're eating 10% of their body weight every day and go to the bathroom once in 10 days, that means they've eaten 100% of their body mass since they last went to the bathroom. They do metabolize the food very thoroughly. They're going to metabolize about 2/3 of that food and eliminate 1/3. And I have weighed this particular sloth the night before she went to the bathroom and the morning after, and she went from 8.4 to 6.3 pounds. So she eliminated 2.1 pounds, and 2.1 is exactly 1/3 of 6.3. So when you put those numbers to human perspective, I weigh 180. So that's me eating 18 16-ounce porterhouse steaks every day. And that's me going to the bathroom, 180 divided by 3. I mean, think of that and shudder. So that's eliminating an awful lot, right? So the sloths, when they're in the tops of the trees, they're entirely safe from every kind of predator except an eagle. And the reason for that is that they're very light, so they can go much further out the branches than a predator large enough to threaten their life can
Read
go.
that the other day.
But if the predator would press the issue to the point that they would break the branch and they would both fall, the cat would not survive the 80 to 100 foot drop from the canopy to the floor of the rainforest. The sloth likely would survive, and it would look over and it would say, ha, ha, and back up the tree it would go. The slinky-like sloth has 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs, and beyond that, our guts sit in our pelvis like this and are upper bonded by our diaphragm. The sloth has connective tissue going all through them with the 46 ribs and all the connective tissue. Their organs don't move around the way our organs do. Their organs are held in the place where they're supposed to be all the time.
All the time.
So that also helps them a whole lot with the long falls.
So the feet, for lack of a better word.
She's gonna bite you.
Hey, Chloe, no.
She says,
They don't
"Leave my
like you
feet."
to mess with their feet.
Yeah, that's what she said, leave my feet alone then.
Yeah, they was real sensitive about the paws.
Sorry about that.
So she's still a baby, so her claws are only like this long, but by the time she's an adult, the claw, like if this is that leathery part of her foot, her claw will curl all the way back almost to here. And at the point that their claw touches their skin, that's when you'd have to think about grooming their claws. Now, we use all hardwoods, and it's very humid in here. We keep it 50% relative humidity and 80 degrees. So the bark on our trees lasts for a couple years. And so their claws naturally wear down as they move around in their environments. So we don't generally ever have to trim a sloth's claws. But if you had to groom them, their last bone of their finger is inside of their claw. So, you know, it's kind of like we have a fingernail on that last bone, but they have, you know, a fingernail that covers all of it. And like our fingernails, you know, their nails grow throughout their life, their claw, their nail. But they naturally wear down on the branches in the wild, so that's why we try to keep the bark on the trees as much as possible so they would naturally wear. We don't have to take a Dremel or anything to them.
How many have you had here?
3.
Have you had any birth here?
No.
No.
No, we have 1 adult sloth and 2 babies.
Have
So
any been birthed in captivity here?
the guy who we get our sloths from here, no.
Well, I'm talking about in the U.S.
Oh yeah. The guy who we get our sloths from has been breeding sloths for 30 years.
Okay.
And he is a doctor of veterinary medicine. He's been doing sloth conservation for 30 years. And he has a very large population of sloths. But he doesn't like us to name his name because we get millions of views and he doesn't want people calling him.
Sure.
He only sells to USDA licensed facilities that have been vetted and that he has personally spoken to your vet and he's looked at your finances and your strategy. He is very, very involved
Good for him.
to ensure that they are not going to private collections where they're just gonna sit and be, you know, toy. That's not good for their health to just be, you know, stuck in a cage
Does she
somewhere.
interact with any of the others?
So sloths are solitary animals. So in the wild, they only come together to mate. That only once in a year or two, and that only for 2 or 3 minutes. But if they have a baby, they stay with their baby for longer than that. Well, obviously longer than 2 or 3 minutes, but their energy budget is so low that they're only capable of nursing their babies with milk for 3 to 6 weeks. A 3-toed sloth might stay with its baby for as much as a year. A 2-toed sloth is going to be 3-4 months, something like that. So after they have stopped nursing their baby with milk, their goal is to teach the baby how to survive in the world. So you can see some pretty cute pictures, like on Google searches and such, where a mother sloth is holding a leaf in its mouth and the baby's eating the leaf out of its mother's mouth. That's how they learn what they're supposed to eat and what they don't. And they used to think, because of the waste patterns of sloths, that they lived in one tree or a very small set of trees for all their life. Turns out the only time they live in one tree or a very small set of trees is if they have a baby and they're teaching the baby how to survive in a small, limited environment. And when the mother weans the baby, the mother ditches. She just leaves and leaves the baby where it's been for all its life. And then over time, the baby's world will expand. But she's teaching it things like eating the leaves at the ends of the branches for 2 reasons, well, 3 reasons. One, the leaves at the ends of the branches are newer and therefore softer, and the cellulose walls of the cells in the leaves are less dense, so easier to digest. 2, if there's any toxins or poisons in a leaf, the older the leaf is, the more things can concentrate inside of a leaf, so the newest leaves are best to eat. And 3, when they're out at the ends of the branches, no predators can get to them, so they tend to hang out towards the ends of the branches, not up by the trunk of the tree.
How do they make their bedding in the wild?
They get in crooks of branches. That's why both in this one and in the other one, we have like places that the branches go at least 2 or 3 ways, because they would sit in like a little set,
So
especially where they go 3 ways at once. So our other sloth has bunk bed hammocks in his room, and he, at some point of every day, you'll see him in his hammocks, but at other points in the day, there's a couple places that he's got like a sort of a crook of branches like this. Sometimes he'll sit in that crook and be like balled up about maybe, it looks like he could almost fit inside of a basketball. Other times we have branches that go horizontally, and he'll like sit on the branch like this and have one hand above him like that, and he'll sleep there he might sleep there from anywhere from 30 minutes to 6 or 8 hours, sitting on a branch with his hand hooked on one above it. But the vast majority of the time, they're spoiled sloths and they sleep in their hammocks.
So you're used to a kid or a dog, and the way she's curled right there, it feels like it'd be uncomfortable. I keep wanting to straighten her
I was
up.
gonna say, kind of let
Yeah.
go over for a second, because I want her eyes to open.
Do it.
Kind of make her brace a little bit so she opens her eyes.
If you see Zozo, she'll look right at you. She knows her name.
Okay. You know your name, Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
we've
don't say
seen
it too
them
much, because then
in,
she'll look at me instead of you.
we've seen them in groups together. Is that upsetting to them? Do they?
Not necessarily. The guy that we get ours from, he has large environments where his sloths go, but they tend to stay. This one's spot is over there, that one's spot is over there.
Okay.
Kind of like a fish aquarium. If you have a fish aquarium, it's very common that, this fish stays in this part of the tank, that fish stays in the other part of the tank, and they all move around the whole tank. And it's not like they're not aware of each other, but your yellow tang doesn't really hang out with your parrotfish. They just are in the same tank. So like the next guy next door to us is Flash. His roommate is a 3-banded armadillo. They both are occupying the same space, but Flash is primarily occupying the top, and the armadillo obviously can only occupy the bottom. They're aware of each other. They know that the other one is there. There's some other living thing that shares their space with them, but they could care less about each other. She has tortoises in here with her. The one's out in the kitchen right now. But she has tortoises in here. She doesn't really care about the tortoise. The tortoises don't really care about her, but it's good to have another living thing that lives with you. And a lot of the bigger zoos are starting to, I don't remember what they call it, like cohabitate different breeds of animals that would naturally be together in the wild, just to give them more interest things.
Just isolated, yeah.
It's sort of like, having your animals have natural foraging patterns instead of just feeding them always out of a dish. Yeah, she's not asleep, but she's super chill.
She's meditating.
Yeah.
So the one in the zoo was by itself, wasn't it?
It's at the end, there were two or three.
In the zoo. There was one in the Louisville Zoo.
Oh, yeah, it was by itself.
Sloths are in the wild, they're exclusively solitary. But in captivity, there are places that have colonies of them. But it's not so much that they're interacting, it's just living in the same place. The guy we get ours from also has, to the best of my knowledge, the only existing colony of 3-toed sloths in the States. But he's been in sloth conservation for 3 decades, and the reason he has them and no one else does is he planted a grove of Cecropia trees 20 years ago, before he started trying to get three-toed sloths. Which that's what three-toed sloths eat, is Cecropia leaves. Similarly, koala bears are the most expensive animal to keep captive because they cannot eat anything except eucalyptus leaves. And there's nowhere in the States that you can grow eucalyptus trees. So basically you have to have a private jet to run back and forth and get eucalyptus leaves for your, the USDA says that if you're going to keep a captive koala bear for 1 to 4, because it's not the cost of the food, it's the cost of the fuel and the sourcing the food, that to keep 1 to 4 sloths, you need to budget $600,000 a year for their food.
Okay.
I said sloths, I meant to say
Koalas.
koalas, yeah.
So he took me to see koalas because I adore koalas. And they were asleep. Well, then I got to reading and it says they sleep 20 hours a day. And I'm thinking, I'm never gonna see them. So we walked around the zoo and we came back and they just so happened to be awake when we came back. So I got to see them.
So, were you at San Diego Zoo?
Actually, Louisville Zoo in Kentucky.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So do they have it so that you walk into a dark space?
Yeah.
So that they're kind of tricking the clock to make the sloths wake up before the zoo closes, but then they turn the lights on bright in the sloth
They
enclosure.
did.
It was, like a railroad, it was shaded. I mean,
Yeah, but I don't think they changed I didn't notice any change in lighting from the time we were there.
There's a couple of zoos that all of the light, basically, there's a couple hours at the peak of the day that the koalas can get outside so they get some vitamin D from natural sunlight, but most of
Okay.
the light, they turn all the lights off earlier in the day to make like a false dusk, and then they turn the lights on extra early in the morning to make a false dawn. So it sort of shifts the clock backwards about 4 hours so
Okay.
that the koalas wake up before the zoo closes for the day.
Well, this was really close to closing.
right,
It was
right
later.
before closing.
The only nocturnal animal I've ever had that could not be useful during the day was kinkajous. And not only I think it's just that their eyes take in so much light that it really is painful for them to be awake in the day. I think, this is not what I know, it's what I think. And, but those ones were such mean little creatures anyway that I did not enjoy having them, so.
She's got silky hair.
Oh yeah, what?
She does.
What's that do?
Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna give Mrs. a chance here. All right, let me get her stuffy. She transfers on the stuffy. And we
Oh,
say,
she
night
knows
night,
it's
Zoe.
coming. Zoe knows it's
Night
coming.
night, Zoe. Here we go. There we go, baby. Good girl.
Oh, she says, I wanna go to you.
There you go.
All right,
I'm gonna let her grab onto you, and then I'm gonna take the snuggie out of the middle.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
Just
Oh,
support
you're
her
all
into the
right,
bottom there.
you're a
Yeah,
lover.
the,
You wanna switch
uh,
sides so you can see your face?
The Sloth Couples is an aptly named event. She really does enjoy cuddling.
Yeah, you're a good hugger.
This sloth was nearly named Oof. If I'd have had my choice, that would have been her name. Because I had never heard our adult sloth ever vocalize at all.
Uh-huh.
And when she was first here, when you would go to set her down, she goes,
Oh, oof.
which means pick me back up, pick me back up.
So she likes this.
Yeah, she only does an hour of encounters a day. And when you go to set her down, she's like,
Where's your phone?
doesn't want to be put down. When she gets done with her encounter, she'll go see my wife. She's transitioning to down here. First time she saw this room down here was December 16th, her birthday.
Okay.
And so last night actually was it was the second time that she has spent the night down here. And I came down to get her later in the evening and she just was so zonked out and comfy looking in her hammock there that we just put a camera on her and left her here.
Zoe.
Say zo, 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 zo.
Zoe. There you go.
Say zo, zo, zo,
Zoe.
zo.
Zoe.
Yeah,
Zoe.
I was letting go of you a little bit, wasn't I? What are you doing to my neck?
Zoe.
So their eyes have a structure called rod monochromacy. So it means they have all rod cells, no cone cells. So they see only in grayscale, and even in the daytime they see terribly. Even in the nighttime they see terribly. So their primary senses that they're operating in the world with are smell and hearing. So she hears very, very well, and her sense of smell is wonderful, but her vision is terrible.
She didn't like the sound of your feet scuffling.
If you scuffled and scuffled, she would be okay, but when any unusual sound first starts, she startles at it.
Zoe.
Hey, zo, 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 zo.
So.
Zo, 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 zo. Hey, baby. She's like, oh, people. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Zoe.
The mother in me wants to rock her a little bit, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he opened that door, didn't he? What's he doing?
Funny, you're holding her, you keep on, there you go.
You give her a few spinach leaves. Just take them one at a time and feed them to her like that.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
Well, maybe smell that?
That sounds good.
So their diet is about 75% leaf material.
You like that?
Those are her little snacks.
And what is this again?
Spinach.
Spinach?
Oh, the spinach.
I'm gonna find my 230 counter. I'll be right back.
Okay. Do you need your phone?
No.
Okay. Are you guys heading back, or you gonna do something in Chattanooga?
No, we are
We're
heading
heading
back.
back.
Beat the weather.
We are expecting more.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be nasty cold at home.
Like
We've
Thursday,
got a
Friday,
couple of
we're gonna
days.
get like some snow.
Oh
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah,
we're supposed to get some ice again, I believe.
they're calling for like 3 to 4 inches just around here, which will shut everything down.
Yeah.
I like seeing your eyes.
She likes eating, I think.
Of course you do.
Emmy's in the hallway, or the
Guys,
hallway here,
get her,
playing
come
with
on,
me.
get her, get
I
her.
run to the store real quick. Yeah, it's fine.
The chinchilla is like in a gigantic hamster ball, and that's what my daughter's playing with out there.
What is the animal in there with the kangaroos at the top?
A coatimundii. It's kind of like a Central American raccoon,
Okay.
but their tail kind of looks like a lemur, you know, because it's really long and has stripes. So they like to burrow and dig, and if you have anything in their pockets, they are going to do their dangest to get it out.
Oh my goodness.
Was down in one of the wagons out here recently.
There's a good face.
Kevin, it's almost by special request. You've got the background color. You've been waiting
I know,
for.
I looked over and I saw her white outfit, I was like, yay!
He's got the yellow, she's got
Yeah.
the light blue. You've got all the backgrounds you need
I
to.
know.
Gave it to y'all.
All right, so Ashley, we're gonna transfer directly from them to you.
Okay.
She is gonna transfer on her Snuggie, which is her little stuffed animal. You got a big thick thing up here, so it's not as important for you. Sometimes people have like boat necks or something, her claws can be a little pinchy if it's on bare skin. So you can show her how Zoe likes to be petted, smooth and slow. She doesn't like to be petted on the belly side, she doesn't like you to mess with her hands, and she doesn't like you to do your nails like this on her. And beyond that, she is the chillest animal you will ever see. She probably will fall asleep while you're holding her, or look like she's about 3/4 asleep like that. You might get the perfect picture right now. She's like just kind of half dozed right there. Step across in front of me, I think you get the great shot right there. All right, guys, if you had a good time today, we would appreciate a Google review. We get enough people that hate us because we have any animals at all that we try to offset some ones with some fives. That's all we get is 5s or 1s. Nothing in between.
Really?
Yeah, because, oh, they should be in the rainforest. Well, she's captive bred, many generations. She would die in the rainforest. All right, so let's transfer her over. Zoe, night night.
Right, sweet girl.
Come here, baby. Oh, here we go. Let go, sweetheart.
Yep, she's dug in over here. I know.
All right.
Thank you
Guys,
so much.
are you driving back to Kentucky tonight?
We are.
Are you gonna beat the sunset?
No, we won't make it before sunset.
Yeah, well, hopefully you won't see any frozen roads on the way back.
Roads are great.
All right, great. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you
down
all
today,
so
guys.
much. You want to go
Yeah, have a seat right here. Yeah, it's fine the way it is. Might want to sit in that one.
This one?
What one do you want, Kevin? This
That one is
This
good.
one? Okay, good. All right, here you go. This is Zoe. And her colors are so perfect, I may have to go get Dash.
Oh, actually, I was gonna ask you anyway. Towards the end, because a lot of people are. Be good.
Yeah. I don't know. What if we were 10 minutes late to the farm tour so we could see the little baby sloth? Would you be good with that?
Yes.
We may do that. Because Kevin has been asking me to put on a white shirt. And here's a pretty girl in a white shirt.
And you're wearing
may
the
be
perfect
model.
outfit, because I was like, please, somebody wear white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I figured I'd be warmer than
Yep.
Oh, in here you'll be warm no matter what, because it stays 80 in here. But
So where'd you come from?
Oodalwall.
Oh, cool, that's not far.
Yeah, I just love sloths, so my mom got it for me for Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome. We went to that Oodalwall market, and I was like, we should set up like a thing here, because so many people in Oodalwall like love this stuff. They had some cool earrings down there and stuff we got.
the only time we took a sloth off-site was to the Sugarloaf Festival. And oh my gosh, the place almost went nuts. So Zoe is a sloth. She is a two-toed sloth. Alive in the world today, there are two-toed sloths and three-toed sloths. Differences between them. Three-toed sloth has more vertebrae in their cervical spine from their skull to their shoulders. So they'll turn their head 270 around like an owl like this. A three-toed sloth has 3 vertebrae of a tail. Two-toed has no tail. But they have the same number of vertebrae from end to end. So a two-toed sloth has more from their shoulders to their hips. So they're going to turn their shoulders and hips till they're as much as 180 apart from each other. So the three-toed sloth is like a slinky. The two-toed sloth is like an owl. They all have 3 toes on the back feet. Two-toed have 2 on the front. Three-toed have 3 on the front. And the three-toed sloths are somewhat smaller and slower than a two-toed sloth. But to describe a two-toed sloth as quicker than anything at all, you could only be talking about a three-toed sloth, because collectively they are the slowest mammals in the world.
That's crazy.
The sloths are all slow, obviously. They're famously slow, but they are slow in ways that you do not think about an animal being slow. So they're slow not only in their movement, they're slow in their digestion, their metabolism, their metabolic processes. They are slow in every way that an animal can possibly be slow. So slow in their movement. Online it'll tell you they can only move about 10 or 12 feet per minute. That is misleading in my opinion. I've seen our sloth move at least 50 feet per minute, just not for a long distance. They can move quickly for a short distance. But still, 50 feet per minute is what, half of 1 mile per hour, so not track stars by any stretch of the imagination. The sloths are slow in their digestion. So a sloth, the first studies on how slowly a sloth digests its food, they put some tiny glass beads into some sloth's food and waited to see how long it took them to come out the other end. And that worked out to 61 to 64 days.
Oh my goodness.
No one seriously believes that anymore. It just seems that food moves through differently than glass beads move through. So the next study, they put some durable dyes on some various food types and waited to see how long it took the colors to come through. And that was 18 to 30 days. That's a more realistic time frame of how slowly a sloth digests. So they digest really slowly, but they eat huge amounts of food. So a sloth eats 10% of their body weight every single day. So putting that to human perspective, I weigh 180 pounds. That would be me eating 18 16-ounce porterhouse steaks every day. That obviously couldn't work even if I could afford 18 steaks. So the sloth eats a tremendous amount of food, but it's really low quality, mainly leaves, so they get very little energy out of their food. But still, they're gonna eat 10% of their weight every day, and yet they go to the bathroom only 3 or 4 times a month. So that is only once every 7 to 10 days, solid and liquid both at the same time. So when a sloth goes to the bathroom, they lose 1/3 of their body mass when they go to the bathroom. So again, putting that to human perspectives, I weigh 180, so that is a 60-pound pile if it was me. So she likes to be petted like this. She doesn't like this, so if she starts to do that on her, she'll turn her head and be like, don't do that.
Do you have a phone? We can get some pictures with your
Yes.
stuff. Oh, I didn't even see it. I'm blind. Right. Yeah, she's trying to get that sun. Oh, perfect. Take some regular ones. Perfect.
Be right back, Kevin.
You're welcome. Or you're fine, sorry. I'm so used to someone saying that you're, thank you. How'd you find out about us?
My aunt actually came here.
Oh, really?
Her husband surprised her for her.
I'm like in every single log.
He surprised her for her birthday, and then my mom reached out to her and
Oh,
asked
that's
her
cool.
about it.
Yeah, if they bring down Dash, he'll go nuts. Like it's like a quarter of her
Oh
size,
my goodness.
and he's jet black.
Oh.
He looks like a little lab puppy with really long legs.
How old is she?
So she just turned a year. Her birthday was like December 16th, and Dash is only like 5 months old.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So will she get, how much bigger will she get?
So she's like 7 or 8 pounds now, and she'll get close to like 15, like the same size as Flash. A little bit smaller. But that breeder that we got her from, there's been some sloths that have gotten to like 30 or 40 pounds,
Wow.
which is like a huge sloth.
Mhm.
If some of our sloths get that big, it'll be pretty interesting. I was telling her that she was asking about what size Zoe would get to, and I said close to Flash, but I said if we end up with a 30 or 40 pound sloth, like that breeder has been spitting out, that'll be awesome. But we might need back braces.
Yeah, awesome and fearsome.
And when they stretch out, they look so tall. Like if you've seen videos of Flash, like if he's stretched out, he looks like he's close to like 5 feet tall, right? And it's the same with her. When she stretches out, you're like, oh, you're kind of big. Right, Zoe? Let me get you some spinach, and you can feed her some spinach because she loves that.
Need some food?
And it's the cutest thing ever. There you go. Feed her a leaf. I'll give these to John, and John can give them to you.
I says Tony to bring Dash down
Awesome.
at 3 o'clock. So she can get her full encounter, and then if you don't mind being our model, we will get some pictures with you and Dash, because we
Sure.
need something with a white background.
Yep. I think I can still trim out the back. Because it's like her thing is so white that it'll recognize it, but I think I can make it work.
Oh my
Oh yeah, because green screen will take out all the white.
But it's alright, I can do it by hand.
Yeah. Or you can do that thing where you grab her whole self and pull her out and then pull her back in.
Yeah.
She's stretching.
So if you look at her teeth, sloths have huge, sharp teeth. So sloths are like rodents. Rodents, 2 buck teeth grow throughout their life. The sloth, her sharp teeth here, which she doesn't technically have canine teeth, but if she did, that's Emmy out in the hallway, I think. They don't technically have canine teeth, but I would call them canine teeth. Those are what grow throughout the life of a sloth. So they always have strong, sharp teeth. They have no enamel on the outsides of their teeth. So as they're opening and closing their mouth, if you hear a noise, their teeth sharpen against each other like this continually. So they live in the rainforest for maybe 20 years and they don't have a toothbrush. So the wearing down constantly and growing constantly is a good thing. But in the wild, they live maybe 20 years. And that's just kind of a guess, because the normal cause of death for a sloth in the wild is being caught by a predator. Of course, they're prey animals, not predator animals. And like most prey animals, that means they live much, much longer in captivity. So in captivity, sloths can live 50 years. So they'll need, good teeth for 50 years. And they still don't have a toothbrush here either. So every time they open and close their mouth, their teeth go one way or the other like that. And so their teeth are sharpening against their other teeth all of the time. So it works out really good for them to always have sharp, strong teeth. So they're also slow in their metabolism. So they eat really poor quality food, but lots of it. They get very low energy out of the food because you're eating leaves. Leaves aren't like, super nutritious. So the sloths will, their energy budget is so low that a sloth can't even maintain its body temperature. So the daytime high in the rainforest is in the mid 80s, nighttime low is in the upper 60s, and their core body temperature will go like that throughout the day and night. Their energy budget also is so low that they can only nurse their babies with milk for about 3 to 6 weeks, depending on what type of sloth it is. Three-toed are the smallest of the sloths. They can only nurse their babies for about 3 weeks. Two-toed are the biggest. They can only nurse their babies for about 6. And they will stay with their babies longer than that, but that is as long as they can nurse them. After that, they're just teaching them how to survive in the world. So they're teaching them what to eat, what not to eat, how to hide, all that sort of thing. So a three-toed sloth might stay with its baby for as much as a year. A two-toed sloth is only about 3 or 4 months, something like that. So the guy who raises the sloths that we get as babies has a genius system for raising sloths. So his mother animals are all clicker trained. So click, 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 I'm gonna take your baby, but it will be back. So the mother animals don't stress about it, and therefore the babies don't stress about it. So from 2 weeks old, the babies are being held by humans every single day of their life. So they start out, 30 seconds, then 45 seconds, then a minute, so on and so forth, until by the time the mother has weaned the baby is being held by people 30, 45 minutes at a time for 2-3 times a day or more. So then when they come here, they are actively seeking human attention all of the time. So the crappy thing about being my wife is that she is the office person. So she is always on the phone, on the computer, answering texts, answering emails, whatever. The good thing about being her is that she has a baby sloth hanging around her neck for, 8, 9, 10 hours a day. Yeah. And when you see Dash here in a little bit, he clings onto her bicep like this, so she'll be sitting there typing to the computer, and he's just
oh my goodness,
just hanging on her like that.
That's so cute.
And if you had seen Flash first, Zoe would seem small. You've seen Zoe first, and Dash is gonna seem tiny, tiny, tiny. Zoe currently weighs 9 pounds. Dash weighs 1.5.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, his quarantine ended last week. When he came here, he was on quarantine for 2 weeks, and he has done a total of 1 guest encounter so far. And that was for, that little girl's birthday or something? Yeah. And so I think his booking calendar just opened yesterday, and people are already booking that guy. But all of our sloths only do a total of 1 hour encounters a day. So if you look at some other sloth places out there, and you look at their booking calendar, you'll see that you can book their sloths for every 15 minutes for 10 hours a day. And it's the same sloth going again and again and again and again and again. Ours do a total of 1 hour encounters a day. And our sloth guy tells us they could do tremendously more, but we're just, I think it's best this way. Our sloths love people. They love their encounters. When we go to pick them up, they come, crawling to us and happy to be there. So like Flash, his door is like this one. If you look at his side of the door, it's all smeared right here. Where if I'm late down here one day, he's there just out the door. So, and rubbing his nose around the glass going, hey, come on guys, let's go. So if a sloth is telling you to hurry up, you gotta check your life.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so full, I'm like breathing hard. We just can't, it was, one of my employees is Tatum, and we were at the Cohabitation Deli for Tatum's
That's
lunch.
where my mom was saying for us to go eat after this.
Oh yeah, I ate too much while I was there. I had a cheese man damn burger. Man, if you like cheese on a burger, it's got like 4 kinds of cheese on it. It was good.
That does sound good.
But it's also like a sleep sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
You're done with that thing, you're ready for a nappy nap.
She's ready for a nap.
Her very favorite thing in the world genuinely is to be held by a person. And yeah, she's all about it.
It's so cute.
So from the time she came here, my wife has held her for probably on average 8 hours a day for her whole life. And we'll get some keyboard warriors on there that think that they know more about our sloths than we do. Strange to think, but give somebody a keyboard.
What other
Take her pictures
kind of
for her.
animals do you
Yeah.
have?
We have a lot of animals. We have, so starting from the top, there's longhorn cattle, highland cattle, horses, ponies, miniature horses, sheep, goats, pigs, turkey, Cohabitation, camels, llama, alpaca, baby alpaca, macaws, cockatoos, micro squirrels, sugar gliders, hedgehogs,
Oh my gosh.
obviously
sugar gliders.
sloths, tortoises.
I didn't know if that thing was real or not.
Yeah, that's real. The other one just walked out in the other room. He's out there in the
Oh,
kitchen.
goodness.
That's the girl. The boy's out walking around somewhere.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, maybe it's real, maybe it's not.
Normally those are, yeah, we wouldn't put a fake one just there for Kevin to have to stand weird. But they live in the petting farm. But when it's less than freezing out, we bring them in here. They like it warm, but they have a heated house, so they go in their heated house at night. But their heated house only stays good down to about 30 degrees, and then it's too cold for them, so we bring them in here. Because if we left them outside, they would hibernate, and for captive animals, hibernating isn't a natural thing, because they get fed the diet that they're supposed to get, so they don't really get the chance to super bulk up. You know, like if a bear is gonna hibernate, they gain a couple 100 pounds first. And the captive animals don't really get the chance to bulk up the way that wild animals do, so hibernating is generally not a good thing for captive animals. Is that a hematite ring?
A what?
Hematite?
It's an aura ring?
Say what?
Aura ring?
Does it make your pulse go?
It like takes my heartbeat and everything like that.
Oh, it does it? It measures your heartbeat?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
So we were talking about measuring someone's heart rate to see if they're calm. So you're going to have to like go back and find the data and see if it like pulls it down.
Oh shit. I can.
So we literally on the live this morning, I was saying to the people that in our experience, generally animals mirror people.
Mhm.
But in the case of sloths, it seems like people mirror sloths. So people sit down and just the calmness of the sloth just overtakes them. And I said sometime we needed to put a heart rate monitor on somebody and find out if their heart rate goes down when they hold the sloth.
It's 96 right now.
Oh, I was kind of
Oh, so you're
excited.
Well, that would be the opposite of our theory,
Yeah.
Because 96 is pretty doggone high.
She's thinking about the damn deli. That's what it is.
Yeah.
She's excited to go.
Running a marathon in her mind. I've never seen one of those.
It's
The
pretty
ring?
cool, and it
Does
like
it recharge?
tracks. Yes, it tracks like my sleep and everything like that.
Yeah. It just looked like hematite to me. I used to have, when I had peripheral neuropathy, hematite like does something weird that, they sell you little tiny rocks of it, and different people tell you different things about it, but if you stick your hand down in a bowl of hematite rocks, you feel your pulse like just and I thought it was even tighter. She's like, you could check my heart rate, but it's about 10.
She's so cute.
So other physical characteristics of a sloth. Their eyes have a structure called rod monochromacy, which means they have all rod cells, no cone cells. So they see all in grayscale, because of course cones are what give you color vision, rods are, depth perception. So they have no color vision ever, but both day and night, and they are nocturnal animals, but both day and night, their vision is just straight up awful. So their primary senses that they're experiencing their world with are smell and hearing. So for better or worse, the sloths know what I smell like all the time, and they know what I sound like. So when I come in, I say, hey, Flash. Flash usually comes scurrying right down. Although today is an exception to the rule. Flash has yet come down from his branches today. He is still up there asleep.
No.
Actually, he's moved from his branch to his hammock now. He's like, today is a sleeping day. But so a lot of people don't know that sloths have ears. If you look right here, her ears proportional to her head are just as big as our ears.
She said
Proportional
stop.
to our head, yeah, see right there?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Good girl.
Messing with you.
If Flash hasn't been down, we really, really want him down, all you gotta do is take a banana and peel it like this, and whew, he comes flying right down. Because his smelling is absolutely on point. Sloths have 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs. So for humans, our guts are sitting in our pelvis and they're upper bounded by our diaphragm. For sloths, they have connective tissue going all through them. So that, because they're upside down, inside out, hanging upside down by their feet, hanging horizontally upside down, or they might be right side up, or they can be in any attitude or altitude at all. So it's important that their guts don't just slosh around. When they're hanging different ways, they could end up, twisted intestines or things like that. So they have connective tissue that goes all the way through them, which also helps them if they fall, because their stuff doesn't just all slam when they drop 80 or 100 feet out of the tree to the rainforest floor. They generally will survive that. So. We'll have to let her friend come in when Dash comes down.
Oh yeah.
Should have told me to come inside. He's probably sitting out there freezing. Maybe he's watching us live. Hey, if you're
I
watching us
texted my
live, you
mom
come
and I
on
told
in.
her to. She texted me. She said it looks like you're holding a newborn.
Oh, wait till you see the next one. Yeah, we're just gonna be selfish and take you for a background. We've literally been saying we need somebody to show up in white for the Dash background.
Yeah.
One of my former interns was here yesterday, and I told her she could be the sloth cover picture for Dash, because we just posted his guest encounters yesterday, and she showed up in a black t-shirt and like a brown flannel or
Oh,
something.
and did he
I'm like,
blend in with it?
well, that's not gonna work. The sloth will be completely blended in, and people will say, wait, is she holding something? So we said we had to do white, and I wore this tan one today thinking I might do it, but it's still not white.
Zoe's super chill today.
Yeah, she is.
Sometimes she's like, give me that food.
Yeah, she didn't really seem that interested in it.
She ate a lot of breakfast.
Yeah. So
if you were watching this over time, right after she's been to the bathroom, she'll be like cylinder shaped. But then, it's 7 to 10 days till she goes again, so she'll be like until she gets like a little fat Buddha, and then the next day, right back to cylinder again.
So does she go outside?
Not in the winter time.
But when
So
it's
we
warm-
just built this room for her. Her birthday was December 16th. She just turned 1.
Oh my
So the first day she came into this room was December 16th. And she is transitioning to down here. She has only spent 2 nights down here so far. Last night was one of them. Because I came to get her at night and she's like, I'm sleeping. She didn't like just come up to come to me, so I let her stay here last night. But she has been living in the house for, 8 months. Oh look, Donna brought Dash down. We get to meet Donna. Donna rarely gets cut loose out of the office.
If I hit my head one more time on those new ones that Tony put in there.
Don't say anything too bad, because it's gonna happen.
I know. I'm actually stuck. This one. I'm gonna use that for.
Hey, darling, you brought the anti-white. So we've got ebony and ivory going.
Yeah.
So I told our guest here, Ashley, that we are gonna be very selfish, but hook her up at the same time.
Are you ready to
Because
be
we've
Facebook
been-
famous?
Yes.
We've been waiting for somebody to be wearing white to give them Dash, because Dash is so dark that she's gonna,
You won the
Offset.
lottery. You wore the right thing.
yeah, that's it. This is her Christmas present.
Oh,
Her
nice.
mom
Mhm.
got her this for
Yes.
Christmas, and now she's about to get the double dip Christmas present, but we're gonna be selfish and post this
That's
for
fine.
our cover page for Dash.
What was your name, by the
She's
way?
got the right color.
My name's actually Abby. My mom is Abby.
Oh, I thought your
No,
name was
it's
Ashley,
okay.
because
That's
it said
because
on
my
the
mom
schedule
booked it.
Ashley.
Okay.
It's Abby.
Because I was like, I want to make sure we say the right person's name if we write it on there.
Yeah, right. Right. So do you wanna shift over to just do some stills?
So, but
Because we were wanting a still for the cover page.
yeah, but I want to go and get some video. And
Alright.
what is Donna? What are you wearing?
Is it
Oh,
Is
wearing?
it really dark?
Well, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's,
Hey, but this is the sweatshirt that you can get for your
Yes.
memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
do you think that we can do it to where Zoe is kind of in her left arm and you help and kind of set Dash? So Dash on that
If
arm.
Zoe doesn't try to climb
Right.
across Dash to get to me. She's
Maybe-
doing really well right now.
Maybe John could hand Dash into that arm and you could be on this side distracting Zoe.
Well, Zoe will climb over there in a hot second, so yeah, that'll work.
Possibly.
So we'll go across the other side there, Donna.
Oh, yeah.
A dash.
Sorry. you can just
All right,
put my
Abby.
phone.
Are you ready to see the cutest thing you've ever seen in your entire life?
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, she.
All right, so this is Dash.
She's gonna climb over here.
Zoe's gonna climb across to Donna, because Donna is Zoe's person.
There we go.
And this is Dash.
Oh my goodness. Hello.
Now you can tell.
Yeah, now you can tell, all right. Yeah. Yeah, you need to be over here, Kevin.
You smell that.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you.
You smell Dash, don't you?
Dash.
Hello, baby girl.
Goodness, he's like a little monkey.
He is. So as I said, these babies are people oriented from birth forward. That's sick. When they're 2 weeks old, they start to be held by people.
Oh my gosh.
So what was the if I one more time?
I'm gonna kick myself. I'm not gonna cuss. I don't really cuss.
So,
I just get so mad.
So you can see that they just absolutely love to be with people. It's not a trick.
He is not significantly bigger than he was at birth. It's just that, just like everything else they do so slowly, they grow really slow as well. So his last weight was 1.5 pounds. And we have discovered that somewhere around, I don't know, they stay really, really small for about the first 6 months and then they kind of hit a growth spurt.
So Don, you're the one that's gonna use this picture. You need this direction, or you need square, right?
I need square, yes.
So you need to capture a picture that's
Yes.
gonna look good square, Kevin.
Okay, so,
Hey Dash.
Oh, flash is down if you wanna do small,
Oh.
medium, large, Kevin.
Yeah. All right.
Flash is like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Okay, look at me.
Yeah,
Zoe and Dash would
can't
give
really
all
let-
the attention.
you can't really let
Did you take
Flash
some on
walk
my
into
phone?
this
Yeah, for sure. We're in.
because he won't want to come back
Donna, do you
out.
have
So
the
you two are
phone?
gonna have
I
to come
do,
out of there.
yes.
We'll take a couple and then we'll go back
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
This will be the first time we've had all 3 sloths in the same picture.
Oh, is he out on his
He's on.
swim?
He just came out. This is the
Oh,
first time
okay.
he's been out today.
Okay.
It keeps.
I'm sorry.
No, I tried to do it from just the phone, but.
There you go.
Hi, baby girl. Yeah, she smells Dash. Look at her. She's sniffing.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
You might even have to send me back some of those. Okay, John, do you want to go out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on out, you guys.
Do you want to grab her phone, John, so that she has?
Yeah.
Get some pictures there.
You know what? I'll go grab her boyfriend. He can be her photographer.
Okay.
Boyfriend, brother, what is it?
Boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
Okay.
All right, let me get him.
Where is he?
Boyfriend, if you're watching right now, come on in.
Probably on Instagram or something. Look at those. Are they related?
They're not related, but they smell really, really well, so they smell each other. Yeah, so, yeah. I know. And then just voices that they recognize. Yeah, so he hears me over here. I see you, baby. I see you. He sleeps with me right now. We keep our room like,
Hot.
yeah, hot.
How do y'all sleep
Yeah.
like that?
Well, fortunately, I was born in California and raised in Florida, so, and then John is just acclimated, but we don't do so well in the cold, because we sleep in hot ones.
And we are having our first ever small, medium, large sloth in the same picture.
Eating your face,
But,
features.
You gotta take Abby's camera, can I grab this? And you gotta be her photographer. So she has
Like,
all the
Zoe's
pictures, too.
cleaning her face, she heard that she was gonna be having a.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, we got it.
Just don't know what's wrong with them. That's why you need to come out in the mornings.
Yeah, he's like, I do my own thing.
You are the second guest ever that has held that baby. Hey, Flash, come here, buddy.
We just visited her yesterday, and he loves her inside the but he's not.
We can get that door closed. That'd be
Come here, bud. Well, technically, this is still not an encounter. This is a little extra something.
Yeah, yeah. All right, are you ready for us out there?
I'm just getting Flash's door shut.
Okay.
All right, come on out. Get their baskets out of the way.
Now, Flash is really personable and he will reach down and grab your hat, so you want to probably, where do you want,
That's good,
this
right
is
there.
Abby, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a medium, small, large.
Oh, yeah, switch. Just
Yeah, you gotta switch, small, medium, large.
over here.
The whole crew. Oh, wait, let
He's
me.
gonna move on.
Oh, that's perfect.
He's come to the end.
He's coming. And Zoe's going to town too. This is like.
She's like, wait a minute, I
I was like, make sure you're taking pictures too.
Yeah.
That's what taking on one up
She
top.
says, I saw a green bean somewhere.
She can have a little piece of one.
You see a green bean
Abby, you look a little bit happy.
Yeah, you do. Oh,
I was like, hey, we're not to the sharing point on the green beans yet. Step in there.
I'm not a green bean.
You can't have green beans, buddy.
Donna, step forward just a little bit. There you go. Hey, Flash. John, can you feed one more green bean? Maybe I'll suppose. Oh, yes. Perfect, all right.
Sorry, we're
Cover
cutting
is
in your
done.
farm to
Yeah.
the time.
Very good.
Imagine this is more interesting than a goat though.
I don't know, one came up there and tried to talk to me.
Sweet Thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that
So
would be
Sweet Thing was born by C-section, so she spent her first 10 days in the living room, and to this day, she thinks that she's a person. She thinks she should be full-time with the people.
What are you guys doing? Oh, what is that?
You want her to have
Flash?
another little piece?
Huh?
You want her to have another little piece?
Yeah. She's like, excuse me, where did I go?
Trying to bite me.
Hey,
What is
Flash.
it, Flash?
Where you going, dude?
She's like, I'm
That is
coming
so
over here to
cool.
see this lady.
Hey, Flash. Hey, boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Do you see Flash?
Will he stay this dark?
She
He
was
will.
that dark.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when their adult hair is longer, and honestly, I mean, it just like completely changes color.
Kevin, did you get any pictures where you can see his whole self where she pulls her hands back a little bit?
No, that'd be good. Let me see if I can you hand me that one again?
I was like this.
Yeah, so when he's holding on, you can like let your hands go and just have one under his hiney so we can see the picture of him. There you go.
And with Flash in there, looks great. And people are like, oh, it is a sloth, not a lab. There we go.
People will see pictures when they're this little, and they'll say, "Oh, it's a monkey."
I know it.
This
He
way,
kind of
'cause you
looks
can
like.
grab your head. Oh, hi. What is it, Flash?
Now Dash hears you too. Oh, look, okay.
Oh, hi,
Dash and Zoe looking at each other.
Dash. Hi. Hi, baby boy. Hello.
You take all the pictures you want.
Oh, yeah, I took about a 50.
No, don't hit him on the head. Don't hit him on the head. What do you see? Yeah. She's like, that's what I've been smelling all over you.
Oh, the picture with all three could be the sloth keeper picture.
Yeah, can you, actually, let me get the camera one more time.
Yeah.
Can you hold him up where your face is like right behind his, there you go.
Picture with all three of them, and it could be the sloth keeper for a day.
Yeah, we're
picture.
gonna start a new encounter, which will be sloth keeper for a day.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be like a 3 to 4 hour encounter where somebody just helps us, I mean, the entire time will be spent with the sloth.
So
Helping us take care of the
fun.
sloths, prepare food for the sloths, socializing the sloths, yeah.
No scratching, just pet.
And if he puts a mouth on you, just turn your hand like that,
Mm-hmm.
because we're still teaching them boundaries, so just like baby puppies and kittens will like, want to mouth on us, we'll just make a fist, and so sometimes I'll even do this, and he's gonna be like, okay, I can't do that,
Mm-hmm.
and now, yeah, you can't do that, there we go,
Are we live right now?
All of them, well, two of them.
Oh.
there we go.
So for our live audience, welcome to the world. This is Dash. Dash also is a two-toed sloth. So our three sloths that are in the frame here, this is Flash. Flash, who has some food on his fur there. Flash
He had
is
some of that rice last night.
Flash is about 6 years old. Flash is our adult sloth. If you sign up for the sloth encounter, Flash is your main man. Zoe is 13 months old. Zoe, if you sign up for sloth cuddles, Zoe is the sloth you're gonna see. And Dash's booking calendar just opened last night. The encounter with Dash is called Baby Sloth Snuggles. If you want to see Flash and Zoe in the same encounter, you would book the sloth encounter and you would click the VIP add-on option. And you can add on one VIP with each person that is signed up for the encounter. You cannot sign up for more VIPs than you sign up for encounters. And Dash, we will soon be opening a new encounter which will be very, very exclusive, only 1 or 2 people per day ever. And that is going to be called Sloth Keeper for a Day. If you want to know about that, stay tuned. It'll show up on our website first.
Alright, so.
Guys, this is Dash is just out for the first time or two here, and he is only supposed to be here for a very short period of time, so Dash is about to head on back up. But if you guys want to sign up for any of our sloth encounters, these are the sloths. And for anybody who just tuned in, this is not where they live. This is where we do some encounters. Very soon we have a mural painter coming to make this space look a little better. If I remember to answer her text today, which I forgot to do that yesterday.
Yes, yes,
It's been a busy day. Profile picture coming up.
Alright, so.
Call my mom. See if she'll answer. FaceTime her on your phone.
Your mom will be right back up here to come hold him.
Wait, we'll take them back now.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Sorry. No, you're good.
Such a good girl.
He tends to go in this room, and if he does, we can't get him out that easy.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you want to stay out, I can call. She's looking herself up.